Gekko. Now you can play along. I want you to answer these questions to see how much you know about PJ Masks. So let's get Gekko on the screen, and of course you can see him in his lovely Gekko suit there. As we just spin him around, he's got mighty muscles, that big long tail, that cheeky grin, the little sort of dinosaur tufts on the top of his head. But now we're going to get to some really interesting competition. So, do you know what Gekko has on his t-shirt when he is Greg? Do you know? It appears just here. Do you know what that is? His suit gives it away, as does his name. But what is it on the front of his t-shirt? So we go over to Greg, and you can see it is a little mini Gekko silhouette, looking down as if it's crawling down his suit, his t-shirt. Let's go back again to Greg. Now, were you paying attention? Because can you tell me what colour Greg's shoes are when he is not being Gekko? Do you know what that is? So let's go back to Greg, and you can see, yes, they're a dark charcoal colour, a dark grey, I think we'd call them. Pay attention to him, because we're going to take him away now. We're going to have one more question. You can see his eyes are green, and obviously his eyes are green when he's Greg or Gekko. But what colour is Greg's hair? Do you know? Go back to Greg, and you can see, yes, he has got a sandy blonde colour sweeping over his head. Actually, my son's got some hair just like that too. So let's go back to Gekko again. And we're going to move over some questions about the Gekko-mobile. So let's go to the Gekko-mobile. Whizzing across the HQ. And first off, I want to just give him a bit of a spin so you can see every bit of that Gekko-mobile. Now, can you tell me, I'm going to stop it spinning in a minute, and you need to tell me, who sits at the back on the right of the Gekko-mobile? Do you know? Do you know what colour that seat is? On the right, behind the driver on the right. Right, well, the seat is red, that's a clue, and of course, it's Owlette. Got Owlette down here, I can light her up to show you. Now let's get that spinning again, we're going to spin it the other way. Pay attention to it, because we're going to be asking you a question on this. So, now, how many lights does the Gekko-mobile have at the front? Give you a little bit of a hint there, spinning it round. Is it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Ready? Gonna look around, and yes! It is 6 lights. 3 on the left and 3 on the right we have on the Gekko-mobile. So let's spin it again, pay attention. So, to tell us the answers to the questions. Now, what I want you to tell me is, who sits on the left behind Gekko in the Gekko-mobile? You've got a choice of 2. Now this one should be a bit easier than last time, because obviously it's not Owlette, she sits on the right, which only leaves, if we spin it around, it only leaves Connor. Of course it's Connor. There you go, let's go back to Gekko. How are you doing so far? I want to know how many points you got. At the end you can tell us. If you comment on the video, we'll be checking the comments every day, and the person who gets the most points, we're going to give them a shout out in some later videos. So let's move on. So that's our Gekko quiz. Now let's move over to Owlette. So here we got Owlette. Her lovely wingspan there, spinning around. She's got that cool hood on the top of her head with those wings swooping back like an owl, and the lines down the side of her tracksuit. But when Owlette isn't Owlette, when she's a mayor, can you tell me, what has she got in her hair? Do you remember? Do you know? Do you watch the show closely? What does Amaya have in her hair? Ready? We're going to go and find out. Amaya! Here we go. Here's Amaya. That's right. She has a little Owlette wing clip in her hair. Can you see it there? Just here. So let's go down. Okay, keep an eye on Amaya. I'm asking you some new questions. So go back to Owlette. We're going to spin around now. When Owlette is in action, she of course has got these lovely red browny eyes, and she's got a hood on. But what else does she have on her head when she's a mayor? She obviously doesn't need these when she's Owlette, which is quite interesting. I would have thought she would need these whenever she was out and about, but I think her superpowers mean she doesn't need it, because when she's a mayor, she has a pair of glasses on. But when she's Owlette, she doesn't. Did you know that? Did you get that? Maybe it's just part of her disguise. Now pay attention to Amaya because we're going to take her away again. Go back to Owlette. We're going to spin around in our PJ Masks website game. Now, one last question. Do you know what colour Owlette's shoes are when she is Amaya? So obviously when she's Owlette she's got her red suit on, so she's got red shoes. But when she's Amaya, what colour shoes does she have? Let's go back to Amaya.
Amaya!
Yes? Do you get it? She's got pink shoes. So there you go. Let's go over to the Owl Glider. I want to get some Owl Glider questions going. See how much you know about this. Swooping over through the HQ. Now let's spin this Owl Glider around and I'm going to be asking you some questions. So, you paying attention? Because in a minute I will stop it and then you'll have to answer. So, we stop it here. Now, you can't quite see what's at the bottom here, but what are at the bottom of the Owlette Glider's sort of legs, I guess? What's at the bottom of here? And how many toes does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, let's spin it round and you can see 2 at the front on each side and 1 at the back, so 6 toes on the Owlette Glider. So let's keep it spinning. I'm going to come up with another question for you. Are you ready? You paying attention? Now, who sits behind Owlette on the right? Behind Owlette on the right. Obviously, it's not Owlette because she's at the front, she's driving. Is it Gekko? Is it Catboy? Are you ready? Let's spin it round. And yes, on the right of Owlette, we've got Gekko. Let's spin it round again, see if we can ask you another question. Now pay attention because we'll be stopping this in a minute and then asking you a question. So, how many headlights does the Owlette Glider have? Does the Owl Glider have in the front? Is it 6? Like the Gekko Mobile? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Are you ready? Yep, it's just 2. So, they're big though, aren't they? Really bright ones. So let's go back to Owlette.
Owlette!
And that is our Owlette part of the quiz. So here's Catboy. We'll get him spinning around. You can see his suit, his cute little ears. I think Catboy is one of my kids' favourites. But, do you know a lot about Connor? Because I'm going to ask you some questions. So, when Catboy is Connor, what does he have on his feet? What colour are the shoes he's wearing when he's Connor? Do you know from watching the show? Let's give you the answer. Yes, they're browny red and they've got yellow laces. Nice, I like those shoes. So pay attention to Connor, because I'm going to ask you some more questions. Go back to Catboy. And we'll spin him around. Now Catboy's got lots of stripes on his suits. When he's Connor, he doesn't have so many stripes. In fact, on his top, on his jacket, he has just a certain number of stripes. Now, do you know how many stripes he has on the arms of his jacket? Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3, 4, 5? Should we go and find out? So, over to Connor. Catboy to Connor. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 stripes on Catboy's jacket. Nice. So, one last Catboy Connor question. See if you can get this right. So, what is on Connor's t-shirt? There's a hint here. There's a hint here in the patterns on Catboy's outfit, but on his t-shirt, just beneath his jacket, you can see it. Only just. So if we switch to Connor, can you see? There's a lightning strike which matches Catboy's cat suit, doesn't it? So let's move over to the cat car. I want to ask you some cat car questions as we swoop over to this Catboy part of the HQ. Look at that. It's lovely, isn't it, the cat car? We're going to spin it round and round and round. I'm going to ask you some questions. So are you ready? How many holes are there at the back of the cat car? Now this is a difficult question. I had to spin around and look at this really closely to see the answer. So if you've been paying attention, you might know. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? If you spin around, stop it right in the middle, you can see it looks like it's 1, 2, 3, but actually there's a little one here, a little one here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes. Exhaust pipes, I think. maybe some special weapons come out the back there too. So there you go. Did you know that? 5 holes at the back of the cat car. Now, spin it round. If you've been paying attention, you might know what the next question is. Who sits on the right of Catboy when he's driving the cat car? It's not Catboy, he's driving. Is it Owlette or is it Gekko? So we're going to move around, and on the right we have got Gekko's seat. Gekko green, of course, it's in green. So let's move around one more time. Can you tell me, when I stop the spinning, how many headlights does the cat car have? Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3, 4, 5, 6? Like the Gekko mobile, or is it just 2 like Owlette? Let's have a look. How many's he got? He's got 2 as well. 1, 2. Very nice. So let's go back to the PJ Masks website game homepage, and I want to go to Meet, because I've got a challenging question here. Now, how well do you know PJ Masks? Do you know who this is? Who's this guy? These are 3 villains down the bottom, but who's this? Can you tell me before I tell you? Can you get a comment in? Of course, it's Romeo. Moving across. Who's this? Who's this villain? She's often a bit mean and nasty and has to learn a lesson. The clue's on her shirt here. There's a moon, so it's Luna. Of course, it's Luna Girl. Moving across one more time, we've got another villain here. Do you know his name? Of course, it's Night Ninja. Did you get that as well? So let's go back to the PJ Masks homepage. So there you go. That is our PJ Masks website game. So there will be some games coming, but while we're waiting for the games to arrive,